visual audio readout. I'm Saloma Dedra, your host and guide through the vast treasures of knowledge read for your enjoyment. Each week, celebrities and those verbose in the higher realms read to you live, unedited, from the rarest books in the world, courtesy of Frank Amo's prized personal library. So please, sit back, enjoy, and may wonder and truth fill your heart.
Page 34, Natural Magic, Book 1, Chapter 5, of Magical Suspensions and Allegations, showing how and by what power they receive virtue and are efficacious in natural magic. When the soul of the world, by its virtue, doth make all things that are naturally generated or artificially made, fruitful, by sealing and impressing upon them celestial virtues, for the working of some wonderful effect, then things themselves not only applied by colliery or suffume or ointment or any other such like way, but when they are conveniently bound to or wrapped up or suspended about the neck, or any other way applied, although by ever so easy a contact, they do impress their virtue upon us. By these allegations and company, therefore, the accidents of the body and mind are changed into sickness or health, valor, fear, sadness or joy, and the like. They render those that carry them gracious, terrible, acceptable, rejected, honored, beloved, or hateful and abominable. Now these kinds of passions are conceived to be infused no otherwise than is manifest in the grafting of trees, where the vital life and virtue is communicated from the trunk to the twig and grafted into it by way of contact and alligation. For in the female palm tree, when she comes near to the male, her boughs bend to the male, which the gardener seeing, he binds them together by the ropes across, but soon becomes straight, as if by the continuation of the rope she had received a propagating virtue from the male. And it is said, if a woman takes a needle and bewray it with dung, and put it up in earth in which the carcass of a man has been buried, and carried it about her in a piece of cloth used at a funeral, no man can defile her as long as she carries that. Now by these examples we see how, by certain allegations of certain things, also suspensions, or by the most simple contact or continuation of any thread, we may be able to receive some virtues thereby. But it is necessary to know the certain rule of magical allegation and suspension, and the manner that the art requires is this, visibly, that they must be done under a certain and fruitable constellation, and they must be done with wire, or silken threads, or sinews of certain animals, and those things that are to be wrapped up are to be done in the leaves of herbs, or skins of animals, or membranous parchments, and company. For if you would procure the solary virtue of anything, this is to be wrapped up in bay leaves, or the skin of a lion, hung round the neck with gold, silk, or purple, or yellow thread. While the sun reigns in the heavens, so shalt thou be endued with the virtue of that thing. So if a saturnine quality reigns, or be desired, thou shalt in like manner take that thing, while Saturn reigns, and wrap it up in the skin of an ass, or in the cloth used at a funeral, especially if melancholy or sadness is to be induced, and with a sad, or ass, or leaden, or black silk thread, hang it about thy neck, and so in the same manner we must proceed with the rest. Chapter 6, of Antipathies. It is necessary in this place to speak of the antipathies of natural things, seeing it is requisite, as we go on, to have a thorough knowledge of that obstinate contrariety of nature, where anything shuns its contrary, and drives it, as it were, out of its presence. Such antipathy as this has the root rhubarb against choler, treacle against poison, the sapphire stone against hot boils, feverish heats and diseases of the eyes, the amethyst against drunkenness, the jasper against the bloody flux and offensive imaginations, the emerald and agnus castus against lust, acades or agates against poison, peony against the falling sickness, coral against the ebullition of black choler and pains of the stomach, the topaz against spiritual heats, such as are covetousness, lust, and all manner of love excesses. The same antipathy is there also of pismires against the herb organ, and the wing of a bat, and the heart of a lapwing, from the presence of which they fly. Also, the organ is contrary to a certain poisonous fly, which cannot resist the sun, and resist the salamanders, and loathes cabbage with such a deadly hatred that they cannot endure each other. So they say cucumbers hate oil, and the gall of a crow makes even men fearful, and drives them from the place where it is placed. A diamond disagrees with a lodestone. That being present, it suffers no iron to be drawn to it. Sheep avoid frog parsley as a deadly thing, and what is more wonderful, nature hath depictured the sign of this antipathy upon the livers of sheep, in which the very figure of frog parsley doth naturally appear. Again, goats hate garden basil, as if there were nothing more pernicious. And amongst animals, mice and weasels disagree. So a lizard is of a contrary nature to a scorpion, and induces great terror to the scorpion with its very sight, and they are therefore killed with the oil of them, which oil will likewise cure the wounds made by scorpions. There is a great enmity between scorpions and mice. Therefore, if a mouse be applied to the bite of a scorpion, he cures it. Nothing is so much an enemy to snakes as crabs, and if swine be hurt by them, they are cured by crabs. The sun also, being in Cancer, serpents are tormented. Also the scorpion and crocodile kill one another, and if the bird ibis does but touch a crocodile with one of his feathers,